Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? What's going on? Pardon my voice. I was at sporting events this weekend and the weather's changed. It is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Just to give you an idea of fall has approached. For those of you who started celebrating fall yesterday because of the official what do I want to say? The official date per se of fall. Well, I started in September, so I'm a little bit ahead of the game. But yes, it is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. So, what do we want to jump into today? As you can see on the description that I had made, I had talked about my hair is getting me agitated. Give me 1 second. I had talked about breaking the cycle. And what that means is that we have many times more often than none, we have habitual rituals, which I talked about a few weeks ago. But what I haven't talked about is the situation of breaking the cycle, whether that's a generational cycle of something that your family is notorious for. My hair is too long, it's getting heavy, it's bothering me, and it's cold. Or is it the cycle of being late to things? Is it the cycle of getting angry real quick? Is it the cycle of just not really know what's going on? Who knows? And so how do we fix that? How do we break the cycle of that? And sometimes it may be even be, which I know a lot of people are going to argue, it may even be breaking the cycle of our mindset. And also, get ready for this, of the medical conditions that are passed down from family to family. And you might say, well, what does that mean? Well, when I was working before the world changed, I talked about, you know, I talked about nutrition and wellness. And upon my journey with the company I was working for, I was made aware that some of the medical conditions, now again, just take this with a grain of salt. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a specialized or certified medical employee. But what I learned, so what I could say is I learned, or what they taught, was that a lot of times some of the histrionic conditions that of medical are not so much hereditary, but it's the lifestyles. And I was really intrigued by that. So when the speaker came in to speak to our corporation, I was just like, well, really? And they were like, yes, because it really passes on generation to generation, especially in cuisine, that the foods we eat are going to present the same conditions to the families down the line. So an example they gave was that of, Italian cuisine. Now, I'm not talking European Italian, I'm talking American-based Italian, that the sauces, the tomato sauce that is used is just causes a lot of acid. And in mass consumptions, especially on Sunday afternoons, if you're Italian, you know that, especially in my house growing up, we had Sunday pasta, any kind of pasta, meatballs, and the whole kit and caboodle. And it was just tradition. It was a family tradition that we had carried on. So the long of the short of it was, when they were able to tap in when it comes to nutrition, they were saying that, of course, families are going to pass on their familial cuisines and recipes, and that may cause some conditions. So I thought it was really interesting. So how do we break the cycle? Well, if you look at the description I put in, I had talked about, I love me some acronyms because it's just easier for people to remember. And so what I talk about is, I talk about start. Just start. Today, you can start right now, you can start, and it makes great headways. So how do we start? Number one, step back. Step back and take a moment. Take a pause. And whatever area that you see this cycle happening, just step back for a moment. Look at the big picture. S, step back. T, take a breath. A lot of us just want, especially in today's society, Western culture, we want to do things so fast. We want to do it today. We want it yesterday. Take a breath. Just allow yourself, when you take a deep breath and when you process, you take that moment to just breathe. A, we want to take assessment. Assess the situation. What are the habits that I'm doing? Is this helpful? Is this hurtful? Is this something that I'm doing that I'm not even cognizant of, that is so mundane and it's so ritualistic that I'm not even realizing I'm doing it? So assess the situation. Assess if it's my health, my wellness, my personal hygiene, my personal development, whatever it is. Assess it. See what you've done, what you haven't done, and what are the areas of strength and the areas of improvement. Then R, reflect. After you have an assessment, look at the paperwork, your phone, your laptop, wherever you're creating an assessment. Now, I'm not saying taking a deep fine-tooth comb with the magnifying glass, but just get an idea and take an assessment and reflect. What am I doing here? What am I not doing? And so forth. And then once you gather that information, T, take action. So start. S, step back. T, take a breath. A, assess the situation. R, reflect. And 5, T, take action. It's the best way possible. It's the way that you have the opportunity where you can really take ownership and you can take accountability. You know, I'm a big proponent on that. Accountability and responsibility on what you are doing. A lot of young people today, not all of them, but a lot of them today, are just ready to point fingers. They're ready to just address it to somebody or call them out or say, this is what you're doing, what you're not doing. No, 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 no. Start with you. Start with your reflection. When we look at cycles, we have to kind of find what is the common thread, what is the commonality that is being presented in that we are not taking initiative and fixing it. I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of this. Again, I had spoken to some of y'all independently, and I've mentioned it on here that I have to just step back and look at all the things that I'm doing and saying, you know, am I repeating the wheel? Am I reinventing the wheel? Or am I just straight out missing something wholeheartedly of the whole picture? Am I missing what I'm aiming to be doing? And I want you guys to do that. I don't want you to take a moment and just focus on giving up. I don't want you to take a focus on whose fault it is. I don't want you to go in the direction of just throwing your hands up and say, whatever, whatever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is take the initiative to take action. And it's okay to start, you know, I mean, look at the phones today. We started with a small, well, actually, we started a big Zach Morris, if you guys know, Saving by the Bell, a huge phone. But it didn't stop there. We kept modifying and modifying and modifying 1.0, 2.0. And then I don't even know what numbers the iPhones or the Androids are at. But it's constantly not reinventing the wheel, but making modifications, enhancements, removing some things. And when we look at the cycle of life, we have to realize that it starts with us. We are the ones that are in the driver's seat to take initiative and take control. Well, Andrea, I don't know if there when it comes to some of these projects, there's other people involved. That's fine. We're not here to control other people. Believe you me, I've tried a million times. And look how hard it is to control or change ourselves, you know? And so look at the cycle of life, right? There's usually a start, a middle, and an end. Or if you want to look at it in a positive way, a new beginning, progression and destination, right? So look at yourself, whatever arena you're going to break the cycle in. Take time. It's going to take time. Have patience with progress. There's no such thing as perfection, right? Unless you know somebody in this world that's perfect, introduce me to them, and then I'd love to sit down and ask a million questions. You know, we're constantly growing, we're constantly going, we're constantly learning, and it's up to us to take the initiative to take action. You know, like I look at my life, I'm, great gratitude attitude at the bookends of the day, but there's a lot of areas in my life that I'm still, it's just not registering. It's just not clicking. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm in some areas of my life, I'm in the hamster wheel and just going and going and going and going, getting nowhere. And then some areas of my life, I'm climbing the ladder of success. I see the progression. I see the results. I don't know what's going on, and I'm speaking me personally, but in this stage of my life, I just know that all it is maybe a slight degree difference that I need to modify, and then boom, blazing. I just know everything's going to take off. But I'm just, for some reason, not seeing it right now. And maybe that's because I need some support. I need to step back. I need to apply the START process, step back, take a breath, assess, reflect, and then take action. I think in certain areas of my life, I'm just going with tunnel vision on, with blinders on, just saying, okay, God, I have to do this. I have to do this because it's part of my cycle. It's part of my habitual ritual. But what I'm not realizing is in some areas in my life, Andrea, you're still doing the same thing. Nothing has shifted. And like I said, others too. So where is your, I would say, let's say, where is your compass directed? North, south, east, west? I mean, let's look at our own personal GPS, and let's change our GPS. Again, I love acronyms. Instead of GPS, gaining progress towards success. Now, I know there's a T in there, but we'll put a little T. GPS, gaining progress towards success. Or to success, because towards, I guess, would be capitalized. Let's figure that out. Let's work together. We're better together. Let's go. Let's grow. And I believe when we have those connections or those aha moments or that moment to kind of really look at our lives under the magnifying glass, not all areas, just what would be your top what would be your top area that's priority that you would like to break the cycle in? Health, wellness, relationships, personal development, professional development. Put it down in the comments. And if you're watching us on the playback, thank you so much. I know for some of y'all, you are in school or at work on the other side, finishing your day. And for those of you in America, you're just starting your day en route or out and about, But I want you to know that you have the opportunity, that you have the choice. You have the choice at any given chance to choose to press play, plan life according to you. So that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you. It has been real. It has been fun. And I wish you have learned something from this. Drop a word of a takeaway today that has helped you, that you're going to take initiative to start to break the cycle on your life. Start. S. To remember to look at the acronym, and it's really simple. Keep it super simple. I say KISS, keep it super simple. So number 1, step back. Number 2, A. Wow, I can't type. It's early, guys. Start the acronym. Number 1, step back. T, take a breath. A, assess. R, reflect. And finally, T, take action. My name is Andrea Mason, your first choice, your global voice, alumna of Les Brown, CEO of Press Play Plan Life According to You LLC. I welcome you and thank you for your gift of time, as your presence is my gift. Connect with me on all social media handles. I will be here every day, Monday through Friday, give or take around 7:30 Eastern time. And it's always available on the playback and then can be viewed again on my YouTube thereafter as they remove it after 30 days. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I trust that you will have a glorious day. Don't be a warrior, be a warrior. Go from victim to victorious as you go from invincible to invisible. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you, everyone. Be safe, be well. Ciao.